go, it's time Avengers assemble. Together we fight as one, so the villains starting to tremble. Let's go, it's time Avengers assemble. Together we fight as one, so the villains starting to tremble. Let's go, it's time Avengers assemble. Together we fight as one, so the villains starting to tremble. Let's go, it's time Avengers assemble. Together we fight as one, so the villains starting to tremble.
Alright, what's up? This is another build video, kind of a playthrough. Um, some of these pieces are interchangeable, but this build is mostly is a way to stay in your ultimate form throughout the entire mission and have a crit chance of 100%. So every single hit is going to be a critical hit. And this is a build for every playstyle, whether it's a hive, vaults, 160 missions, OLTs, whatever. You can use it for any of them. There are a few pieces that you do have to make this work. Now these pieces can be interchangeable, so I'll get into it in a second. Oh, also, this build is really good for helping your teammates too. Black Widow, she's not necessarily the strongest character in the game. Obviously, you know, you got Thor, you have Hulk, and you have, I said that weird, Hulk. You have Hawkeye, all of these other characters, but she does do a good bit of damage. And with this build right here, you can also buff your teammates too, because throughout the entire times while you're invisible, they have an extra 30% crit chance as well. And you're dropping willpower orbs pretty much every 2 or 3 times you defeat an enemy too. So that helps out as well. So again, you have to have these two artifacts right here, or not necessarily in this form, but any type of artifact that has the ultimate heroic charge on it, and you get an extra 9% ultimate recharge rate. So you need these two, and this one right here, Natasha's Skull. You need this as well. You have an 18% heroic ultimate charge rate And whenever you are in your shadow ops, which is whenever you're overcharged and your intrinsic meter is full, you have an extra 15%. Now you need this vest right here. You don't have to have this one, but this vest right here, I got this from the Elite Vault, so you can get this one there. And what you need on it is the Tactical Heroicism, which is the extra 15% regeneration speed of heroic energy while overcharged too. Now again, you don't have to have this specific vest because there are some more vests with this third perk on it. So as long as it has this third perk, you're fine. That's the main part of it. But this vest definitely helps out because you have the extra 200% willpower regeneration whenever you're invisible. You'll be invisible a lot. You get regeneration from Cosmic, which I'll get into in a second, and you get a zero point 0.3 max willpower whenever you are dealing any type of damage. And so you take that zero point 0.3 and multiply it by 200%. So that's the extra willpower regeneration that you will receive whenever you are invisible. So it really works out a lot. So those are the four aspects that you really have to make this build work. Now, let's say you're missing some of them. So let's say you're missing two of these minor artifacts. And again, these minor artifacts don't necessarily have to be a an ISO Cosmic of an Infinity or Might. It can be a double precision as long as it has these two perks. So let's say you're missing both of these two perks. So you'll be missing 18%, right? So you can get some gloves that have the extra 15% heroic recharge rate whenever you're invisible. So that's if you don't have it. Or if you don't have this piece right here, right, with this extra 15% heroic recharge rate, you can also get some gloves with the extra 15%, which is again some like this one right here, in which I showed. But to make the build better and to, use maximum efficiency, I suggest getting this one, especially since you know exactly where to get it from, which again is the Elite Hives. So before the stats that you see right now, this is fully buffed, right? This is fully buffed. So my crit chance is a 103 and the ultimate heroic charge rate is at a 105. Now, if you have two ISOs, this piece right here with the extra 15% heroic energy while overcharged, then you need to have, while you're not buffed, right? While you're not buffed, you need to have a 50% ultimate heroic recharge rate. So again, while you're not buffed, in order to get a 105, that's if you have these pieces, your ultimate heroic charge rate needs to be at a 50. And then again, while you are not buffed, if you have these pieces, and not necessarily these pieces, but a piece in a different variety. So again, if you don't have this one right here, you can switch out for some other gloves that have the ultimate heroic recharge rate. So while you don't have any buffs, in order to get a 100% crit chance whenever you have all of your buffs, and that is not including the Norn Stone either. I totally forgot about that. That's a whole nother story. So your crit chance needs to be at a 28%. So if your crit chance is at a 28%, then whenever you have all of your buffs, it will be at 100%. Now, I was mentioning earlier about how this helps the team because one, whenever you're overcharged, or whenever you're in your ultimate, excuse me, you can take this one right here in the skill tree. You can have the extra 35% damage if you like, but you can also have this one right here, where every time you defeat enemies, you have a 15% chance of dropping the regen pack, which definitely comes in handy in like the OLT and whatnot. And this one right here, you need to have this one checked. So every time your AI teammate or whoever you're playing with is invisible, they get an extra 30% crit chance. Now, let's say you pop your invisibility and your teammate is not beside you, you still, I don't know what it is, I just found out about this. So let's say you pop your invisibility and your teammate is not near you and they don't become invisible, you can always run close to them. So as long as you're in vicinity of them, they become invisible and they get the extra crit chance. And the other one that you have to get the extra 25% crit chance is this one right here. And it extends your veil of shadows, your invisibility, and it increases your crit chance by 25%. So now let's get into a few pieces that you don't have to have, but really makes this build really stand out. So this is the Faultless Empowerment gloves. The vendors have these a lot of the times, especially the Wakanda vendor. I actually just got these right here. I have not found a way to incorporate this within the build, but I really want to because it has an extra 200% willpower regeneration. But anyway, the first perk that you're looking for within these gloves is Faultless Empowerment. 50% of your melee crits gives you an intrinsic burst. It's amazing because every hit is going to be a crit. Every melee hit anyway. Every type of hit is going to be a crit. So you're always going to be getting these intrinsic bursts. Your intrinsic bar can go from 0 to hero in a snap of a finger. And once you're in your intrinsic burst, that is going to set everything else off. You're going to get this extra 200% willpower because you're going to be able to throw a grenade out. And in the last video, I talked about that. Once you throw the grenade out, you can become invisible without even using your support heroic. And again, if you become invisible, if you get near a teammate, guess what? They become invisible as well. So this is how you start off the entire chain reaction. So get these gloves. If I could get them, if you can get them in a different variant as far as the status is concerned, or how you apply the status, I would definitely recommend something for light combo finishers because you cannot proc signature status effects whenever you are in our ultimate. But that's okay because every now and then you might not want to be in your ultimate. You may want to swat kick some people or whatever that move is called, the signature move, and apply some cosmic status and help your teammates out again. So but if you could, definitely get this in the light combo finisher instead of the signature attack. And this last one right here, this last perk, the extra status whenever invisibility is active, my status meter, so you can see right now my intensity is only a 44, but my stun and status meter percent is at a 70%. Part of that 70% comes from this right here. So I'm not sure if it's the actual status number that increases whenever you're invisible or if it's the status build up on the enemy, but I do know that pretty much not every attack, but at least every pistol attack, whenever it's a power shot while you're invisible, is going to fully fill the enemy whichever status it is. Now, so for my pistol, I have this one right here, proficient buff rounds. This is totally RNG, so try to find it. I recommend, desert vaults, desert elite vaults. Don't complete the desert vaults either. Like, don't complete it. Just go and get the boxes, or maybe the snowy tundra vault. Whichever one, try to find it. Hit those gold boxes. Got a farm. You can put this in any form. This one works pretty straight because it's plasma. And while you're in the ultimate, every single hit, well, not every hit, but a lot of the hits deal shock damage. And all heavy attacks deal shock damage as well. So it's pretty much an instant battery effect. So you can get this one. You can get this in the Cosmic as well, too. I would definitely recommend Cosmic, especially if you want to have the extra increased damage to the enemy as far as crit chance and crit damage and willpower regeneration for you and your teammates. But again, this is the build that you have to have in order to get the 100 crit chance and the ultimate heroic charge rate to 100% or above. So hopefully, yeah, you found something within this video and may put it to use. You may want to change a few things here or there. To be honest, the 100% or 105% ultimate heroic recharge rate and crit chance is a little overkill. I'll keep it frank. It's a little overkill. You don't need that much, but if you can have that much, then it'll be fine. Now, there's a few more things that I did want to talk about now that I think about it. If you're gonna have this much crit chance and if you're gonna have this much heroic charge rate, you're gonna be missing some type of aspect. So you're gonna be either missing precision, you're gonna be missing defense, or you're gonna be missing intensity. So you have to find a way to make up for it within your skill tree, right? So you have to find a way to make up for it. So I'm missing precision, so I have this extra crit or extra range damage whenever I'm invisible. And I have this one right here, this extra crit damage whenever I'm invisible, because you can see my crit damage is only a 197. So that's not the most that you can wish for. So find a way within your skill tree to make up for it. And if you're playing solo, then you can always take this one off right here off. or if you see your teammates are doing pretty good, you can take this one off, and you can put this one on right here, which gives you extra 35% damage whenever you're overcharged and you're in your power surge, and you are mostly going to be overcharged while you're in your power surge because of the gloves right here. So it all syncs together. There was another part on here as well. This taser dart. Anytime that you hit somebody with the taser dart, it's going to automatically apply a full status. So it's pretty much like a shock full status. And I have this one right here, the 40% extra stun. Now you can run this one as well, but I prefer not to run this one because they come back so quickly. My assault heroics in this build is not even focused on assault heroic regeneration speed, but it's at a 69%. So I take that extra damage. But again, hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, take it easy.